Hey, it's your girl Marissa. And today, my guest, Myra Clay, and I are talking about the levels of fear, anxiety, stress from home, loneliness that kids are carrying around. And I mean, if we're being honest, adults are carrying around exactly the same emotion. But it seems like younger and younger children are finding themselves dealing with these big emotions, and it's causing various barriers to their learning and growth within their own society. So, Myra and I sit down because Myra is a former teaching assistant turned not only meditation teacher, but she created this book. She wrote this book, The Boy and the Pink Light, which focuses on the pink light technique. And it is designed to help children alleviate these overwhelming emotions that, if we're being honest, are preventing them from learning, from living their best life, which of course is something we want to try and do our absolute best to prevent. So Mara and I get into this amazing conversation. The pink light technique, it's this gentle but powerful way to reconnect with love and gratitude. And the best part is that it just takes a few minutes, and often we forget that focusing on those positive things that are going in our lives can not only help us to become stronger as people, but it equips us with the abilities to help those around us. So I know you're going to love this conversation. And if you've been feeling overwhelmed, or if you've got students or children that have been feeling overwhelmed or emotionally drained or anxious or fearful, and things could be a little bit more peaceful in your life, then this is definitely the conversation for you. Let's get into it. Good morning, Myra. I am so excited for you to join us today. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you, Marisa. I'm very, very excited to be here with you. Thank you for inviting me.
You are welcome. I can't wait. I loved reading your book for children, The Pink Light Technique. And before you tell us about the pink light technique, I'd love for you to take us back to when you first realized that many children were struggling emotionally and how you decided to help. I would love to hear about
Yes,
that.
yes, of course. Yes, I started to work with my children's primary school because I wanted to find something that I can have the same holidays as they had. So I started to work at their school and in the nursery area. And I started to look to some children that they were coming. Obviously, nursery is a big step for them because it's the separations between from parents and starting school. So at the beginning, I thought it was more related with some children because of the separation, and because I felt the same when my son started to go to school. But then with the time, obviously they start to learning, they start to feel that there is a safe environment and they can play and they can learn. But then you started to see, well, I started to see that some children after a while continue to feel very shy, very quiet. And it's when you start to realize there is something more maybe there. Not always is it the case, but a lot of the case is it is that something is moving. It's not quite balanced in the growing. So we went to few cases of children feeling very, very insecure. And my heart was like,
I
because I
know.
felt them like my own kids. I promise you, when I was there, I was full immersed with them. So I started to feel like, oh my goodness, I wish I can do something else to realize that they are beautiful souls, that is
Right.
perfections. That's the I felt very like, because obviously with my children that you can hug and you can kiss and you can talk, but with them it's different. You can have that very, very close relation. So we were working in some situations, some cases with children, and but I realized when my work was finished, when they were going back home, So I was like, oh my goodness, what can continue to feel for them safe as they feel in nursery? So I came with this idea of the pink light. It's a
Okay.
very ancient technique. It helps me personally a lot together with my meditation practice that I do. And it helps me to heal from inside because I realized that if I can't heal from inside, it's more tricky, more difficult to heal from outside or forgive things that happen to you. So it helps me with my relationship with my dad. So I thought, let's do something like that, the pink light. And then it came the idea with the boy because I have two sons. So I
Yes.
said, well, I'm going to call it to relate it, the boy and then the pink light because also pink is unfortunately is related a lot of it's more like girls things. So I wanted to play with that to works. And yes, and that's how I came with the idea that hopefully allow children with the pink light realize that the heart is the pink light. Everything that lights here is just like perfection. So
Yeah.
yeah, just come back to this space. Yes.
I feel like any child, like boy or girl, will associate that a pink light with love and kindness and softness and positivity, regardless. So I think it's a perfect way to go. What you said, you mentioned it's an ancient technique. Also, the pink light. Or so were you doing this? Did you hear about this as a child, or?
No, 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 I wish to be honest, but no. I learned this technique together with my meditation techniques. But this pink light is anyone can use it. To be honest, it's the techniques that I use normally in my meditation. You have to learn it during a weekend, and everything is more like a course. But this pink, you can just do it. Go to the steps and just do it yourself whenever, anytime that you want it. And yes, so it's a very simple technique and really beautiful and really gentle. So I just love it. I do it whenever I feel like I'm not connected to the wall in the sense that I feel insecure. But no, I learned when I 20 years ago a little bit more when I started learning my other techniques. Yes, I wish
And tell
to.
tell me so tell me what happens what did you notice started happening when children start using the technique, just to give anybody who's listening or watching an idea of how it actually works.
What I noticed is because I've been doing a lot of visit at schools and nurseries and playgroups. What I noticed is that they're like, "Oh wow, a pink in my heart is like something new for them. Why I have to be like?" And also, so I noticed that parents say to me, "Oh, my boy learned the technique because of your book," and also instead of taking his study, he's going to think about the pink light to fall asleep. So I noticed that that is also a place where they can just relax. When
Right.
you grab a teddy, I think the pink light is just like that space that you can go inside. It's because the technique is imagining this big pink light that surrounded you. So it's like I surrounded
Like a
you, a
safety
bubble.
bubble almost, right?
Yes, it's
Because
like
it
a
starts in
safety
your
bubble.
heart, but once you
Yes,
imagine it getting
yes,
bigger, it brings you safety. And I love that part in the book too, where you can bring your friend in to
exactly.
so everyone can be safe in the
Yes,
pink light, because it
yes.
starts with you, right? Your thoughts are so important, and to give children that knowledge of
Mhm.
you can think about this anytime, right?
Exactly. Yes,
Definitely.
absolutely. And it starts with ourselves. That's the beauty thing. And then you can surrender anyone that you would like to, that they feel safe also. Yes.
So speaking to all my teachers out there and our teachers that are listening, and
Yes.
how so because I really want to recommend this book to teachers. How would you advise teachers to use this in their classroom? Is it just sort of reading it and then talking through it, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I normally what I do when I go to visit the schools, I do the little bit exercise of breathing because it's very important just to send oxygen to our brain and when the brain comes down. So I do some exercise like that. And then sometimes it's depending also what the children are ready to go with you and play and everything. But sometimes happens that we start talking about feelings. I start talking about how you're feeling or how's your day been. And some children, they just go on and explain to you what's going on to through the day. And it's very nice to hear that. And for me, it's very important as a teacher or as a mom or as a person to explain that I also have feelings as a grown up.
Yes.
So I go also through, well, I was feeling actually grumpy 10 minutes ago. I was feeling sad for something else. So it can start like that, or it can start just directly reading the book. And I always like to make it very fun. And I started to do, I bought this big fabric, pink, very pink fabric. And and we pretend that is a pink light. So some children like to just wrap around, and we go through the to the fabric. It's a very very transparent fabric, and
Okay.
we with the fabric pretending there is a pink light and also protecting you the pink light. And I read the book, and then at the end of the book I include a page that is a simplify the pink light for children. So it's a
Right.
very simple 4 steps that you can go through that, just make it very easy, very short. So it's fun because obviously the attention of children it can go anywhere. So it's a very, very simple book. And I one of the things that I really liked when I read the book is to go through the illustrations because I personally like the illustrations a lot.
Others,
And
I
I
love the
Yes, and I like the illustrations just to tell the children that it's a normal boy that likes to explore the world, learn, and he has a special a friend, the elephant. And actually bought a pink elephant myself just to take it with me to go and visit the school. So just to make it a little more fun.
yeah.
And so that's the way I do it, just to be very simple and very fun and honest with children because they know how you're feeling also.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They're so intuitive, especially younger children. And even if children are being raised in perfect environments, which I don't know if that exists anymore, something like this
Exactly.
still benefits because it helps you to get in touch with yourself, right? And it's fun and, like you said, light. And it can also help those kids who maybe are a little more emotionally regulated to help their friend.
Yeah.
So I feel like it is so important to work on it with all children. And I would love for you to share maybe one or two changes that if you've ever noticed in children, maybe a story or families. I don't know if you've done it with families, but just embracing those practices of love and gratitude can really change everything. So I'd love to know, have you noticed any, or what sorts
Yes.
of changes have you noticed?
Yes. Well, my personal experience, I noticed when I was working that some parents came to me and explained situations, and I always listened completely open and feeling very grateful to them and sharing with them that I was feeling very grateful in appreciation of what they doing to me and explain the situation. And I always was very honest and say, trust in your son or trust in your girl, whatever it is there, trust whatever is happening and love, just to support in that love. And some parents came to me after a few years when I was working there because I left before COVID.
Right?
And just one of them said to me, thank you so much for helping me with my girl, with my daughter, because I realized that I didn't have to cut her wings. And that for me is like, oh my goodness, just to remember, I feel like, oh my God. And another girl, her mom just graduated from primary, and she say she changed because of your help. And not because I wanted to feel like it's because love, compassion, gratitude, appreciation, they are the keys for life also, because it's opened so many doors and you just be open or whatever you can do. And then without realizing that you are helping in some ways someone or some parents, family, children. And for me, that was the given. That's what I saw it with some families. Yes.
I want to go back and touch on what you said with love and gratitude and compassion, appreciation. One of, as a mindset coach, but previously a teacher for 22 years, it amazes me that I never knew, and so many people I've taught this to never knew that your thoughts, but also your emotions hold a frequency. And the positive emotions of love, compassion, appreciation, and gratitude, joy, they have a higher vibration. You talk about high vibe situation, and what you put out, you draw in. And I think that's what people really need to understand, especially with children, that the more of those emotions that you can do your absolute best to feel, especially gratitude. I find that often it's easy to look for some things that you could be grateful for, just to bring you up that little bit and teach children how to do that. You allow these lower vibe emotions like anxiety and worry to start to diminish. And
Yeah.
it's so important, and I wish everybody knew it. I'm amazed we don't teach it in schools. It should be a class.
Yes, completely agree with you. Completely. Is They're the keys for the world to open. They are really, because if you focus on gratitude and appreciation, you just getting out of yourself out of the way. So it's
Yeah.
not just me, you just opening more. It's like when the flower opens, completely opens of what is there for the flower. So it's very important. I totally agree with you. We wish we can,
Yeah.
hopefully, step by step, we can, we're doing something.
Well, absolutely, Mara. And on is there anything else that you would like to share with us? Anything that we've missed or any tips around? I know you're a meditation teacher now as well, but any other, if you had to give us your top two tips for your life or your kids' life, what would you tell us?
Well, I just wanted to tell that, or to share that as a parent and to other parents, that we need to be open of what our children are telling us. And this book, what I really like about this book also, it is for children, but the big target for me is for parents,
Yes.
because the parents are the key for children, because they are the guardian of their lives. So this book is, to navigate together and to open to the conversation for parents and kids as a family about feelings, about today you feel maybe frustrated, why you feel frustrated. And as I mentioned in the beginning, at the beginning, if the grown-ups were open to talk about that, our children's with the kids, they realize that it is something normal, that it's okay to talk about things that are uncomfortable for us, because instead of putting inside all the negative energy, it's best just to talk about. Because for me, in my experience, when I started to talk about my feelings and my worries and my insecurities, my life completely changed. And now I that's what I we learn and we wanted to do with our kids, that they can talk about those feelings, about those frustrations. Sometimes they don't want to, or it's not the moment, but they come back and they share whatever. So it's an invitation for parents to be open, to talk about whatever is out there. And also the healing starts with us, so we can learn to we can help to heal our children's, our relations, whatever is out there for us to do. Yes.
Absolutely. Love what you're saying there, because I think having grown up in the 80s and my mom even earlier, you didn't share, you didn't talk. It was like you just dealt with it, you got on with it. And now we're seeing that that is actually so detrimental. And with everything that's bombarding children and parents, showing that talking about things and opening those conversations can only help, really.
Yes.
So I just want to
Yes.
say, Mara, I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful for the book and what you're doing for children out there and for parents. I can't
Thank you.
wait to spread the news about it. And I just want to thank you so much for coming and talking to us today. And may you have
Oh,
the most beautiful rest of 2026 filled with so much love. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you, Marisa. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for giving me the space to share this with everyone who is out there. And it's so lovely to meet you. Thank you.
Okay, I just have to say that I love Myra's energy so much. I had the best time chatting with her. And please, if there's anything that resonated you, I would love to hear from you in the comments. And most importantly, I want you to remember that love is not something you need to learn. You can start today going out and focusing on who can you add, whose life can you give a little bit of extra love to today, right? What can you be grateful for today, even if everything is not going well? Are there even three things that you can focus on today about what went well? What are you, thankful for or grateful for? Maybe some of the, the bad things in your life today. And you don't need to have a 1 hour meditation morning routine to bring some peace into your life. Sometimes it's just a minute to sit and just imagine the pink light. Sometimes it just begins with like that one breath, right? Just yourself pausing and asking yourself, what do I actually now? What does my child need? What do the students need? And seeing if we can't just, calm things down for it. Because this conversation is a lot about giving yourself compassion as well as giving it to your kids or your students. You have to, as they say, right, fill your own cup first. So hope that this week you pause for a moment, imagine the pink light filling your heart, smile, feel the love, feel how much you are loved, and also feel that love for yourself, right? And notice kind of where the shifts happen. Do that. And if this conversation resonated with you, I would love for you to share it with another teacher who might need it or might need more like love and gratitude and calm in their life, because small changes, they do create those powerful results. And lastly, I always work with teachers on helping them move into, if you have goals for yourself, you want to move further in education, you want to move out of teaching for the time being to achieve other goals, please contact me. I would love to help. And on that note, I'll see you in the next episode.